butchered here. Fr33man, Wrath of Baal, or however you say it. Blue team, we've got Nurland as a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Lots of great buffs with some awesome control abilities too. This is the Harlequin elite scheme, looking very colourful. Alongside is Ven as a plague champion that starts off range combat damage. Over time, bolter can get melee weapons, some decent utility, and support can build turrets and repair, but it's very slow. Night Lord's elite scheme over here. And rounded off the blue team, it's Stigma as a brother captain, durable commander that walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with some strong offense, disruption, and support. Red team, Slaaneshi Cacophony is an Inquisitor, offensive commander, lots of great control abilities, a bit of support too, begins in melee combat but can get some awesome ranged options. This is the Vostroyan Firstborn over here, elite scheme. In the middle for red team is Zevargel as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on regular offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat, and it's chaos versus chaos in the middle. Rounding off the red team here, Fr33man as a Lord Commissar, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also support, and begins with a refractor field. He's wading into these triple Dire Avengers of Nurland, going to be backed up by a shuriken, maybe even two shurikens. I would think these guardsmen are getting pretty low here. That's a nice special from the Farseer, but she has a pretty pathetic sidearm, so I don't think she's going to be able to chase them down. A good stomp there from the Sentinel, and Fr33man does force everything off. He can now march forward and decap stuff with the Sentinel and his Commissar maybe, and take that eastern power. Looks like Zevargel's Chaos Lord is pushing through the middle here. Then with double CSM, who's going to be able to use their Heretics better here? Zevargel with Havocs up. A good choice on this map. Can cover the middle pretty damn well with a single setup team. Going to make it difficult for Ven to push through perhaps, but we'll see. Might need a hard counter, i.e. Raptors. But there is room to move around, especially with the Plague Champion. You can split him off, and since he'll still fight at the normal rate under suppression, he can just outshoot stuff pretty well. Brother Captain decaps this wreck point, but is persuaded to leave after a special attack. Multi-laser turret over here from Slaaneshi, and Fr33man wastes no time decapping things over on this side. And the first shuriken of maybe two shurikens is up for Nurland. With guide on them in these very tight corridors, it could be doom for this Sentinel here. Sentinel staying in play. There's the back off. He might move back in because this shuriken's getting pretty close. He is moving back in. He's going in for the stomp. He could win this engagement right here if he forces off the shuriken. The shuriken dodges the stomp, but the Lord Commissar is now in, and it's going to be forced off anyway, I think. Some good play from both players there, but Fr33man comes out on top and should be able to keep this side relatively locked down. The Havocs are up now in the middle for Zevargel, suppressing one of their CSM squads. Here comes a heavy bolter turret for Ven. Nice wide firing arc. As you can see, not quite as much damage as the Tarantula turret, but you can lock down quite a big area with it. We'll see how it goes. It is very vulnerable to a flank from this little approach here, as you can see. 4-2-1 to 4-9-7 early on. 2-1 cap for the red team. Purgation up for Stigma into some operatives. Still kicking off in the middle. The Havocs are only firing at the Plague Champion, which is a bit of a waste. He's got his black grenades up and he's moving in to throw them. Nicely done from Ven. Gets a throw off. Was perhaps lucky that the Havocs were, their weapon was on cooldown there, so they were not firing at him as he moved in. Amazing timing or luck, I'm not sure. The Havocs do get away with a single model, but they sat in that green crap for a while. Ven is now going to try and decap the VP, but not without some resistance. We've got some Heretics with Aspiring Champion and grenade launchers. Combi Flamer up for the Chaos Lord, could peel off Heretic models left and right for Zevargel over there. Help that Chaos Lord level up. Here are the operatives. Were hit in 2.5. Now their weapon range is down to just 26, which can make them incredibly difficult to use in a 3v3 once you get into tier 2 and onwards. And there's so much crazy range damage around, they can drop like flies so quickly. Also, their firing pattern adjusted to give them some less DPS. or less burst at least. Sentinel gets repaired on this east side. It's going to be vital for Freeman to keep this thing up as long as possible. Gives him a focal point for his attacks, something that he can move forward with, take the brunt of attacks and support with his infantry. Does have spotters on the field, and we do see double shurikens from Nurland. Here is the second one, in fact behind an energy shield, and there is the spotter shell and the Lord Commissar wading in, but there's a second shuriken suppressing the Lord Commissar, and there's the smoke shell. These guys meanwhile trying to bash power the triple Dire Avengers here, one of them with a grenade, and he should be able to finish off this Lord Commissar with that grenade, maybe. Nope. He's going for it in melee and does actually finish him off with a mixture of melee and ranged attacks. Looks like the Commissar had his power sword and something else. Didn't quite catch what it was there before he went down. Then sitting pretty in the mid right now with double heavy bolter turrets, some Nurgle worship and double Eternal War CSN. There's a lot of power spent. Also has an aspiring champion and of course those black grenades. A hell of a lot of power spent. If Zevargel can get tier 2 quickly and get a blood crush up, this could be nasty. He has got around this turret with the immolates and down it goes. That didn't last very long. Wow, was it not even covering the edge here? I guess not. He got around it pretty easily. Did not notice that it left a big gap there. 393 to 452. The Plague Champion, I think, was moving in for a grenade there, but is taken down by the Chaos Lord. Killed a weak, used nicely to disrupt him at just the right time. And as you saw, when he got back up off being knocked over, he was trying to throw his grenade still and went down. So bad engagement so far for Ven. Havoc's being used aggressively. Nicely done from Zevargel. Going to try and get a decap here with the Chaos Lord. Should be able to. Catachan Devils on the field for Slaaneshi Cacophony. But Grey Knights are pushing through. Purgation, perhaps lucky to get away with that on model loss, and the strike squad down to 2. Trying to finish off the Sentinel, and I was going to say the Stormtroopers might be able to, but they are afraid of all this stuff. Catachan's thrown in their grenade launcher there for good measure. Someone's gone down. It's the Farseer. Lord Commissar was repurchased, I guess. I think the Chaos Lord ran over and revived him, but Ven is retaking this side, the turret enough, the remaining turret enough to keep Zevargel at bay, and they're going tier 2 at roughly the same time. I mean, Zevargel's going to get there sooner, but I don't think it's a massive deal. If he gets a Blood Crusher up, Ven could respond with the las cannon turret, which is absolutely devastating to vehicles. I don't think it's got to tier 2 way ahead of Ven. And I don't think he will get a Blood Crusher. Tends to not last long on the Space Hulk mats because of that massive central lane of concentrated fire. Maybe he could get one and send it to one of the flanks and help out. Freeman is pushing pretty hard against Nurland here, who's gone for some Wraith Guard. You need to try and control this Lord Commissar. There's so much. He's got the Carapace armor, as you can see. Gives the Lord Commissar some nice buffs when he uses his Inspire Courage Execute. Gets in on that shuriken somehow. I guess these spotters doing their job pretty well. They're in retreat now, I believe. Slaaneshi already in tier 2 with 2 squads, Ogryns and some Stormtroopers up. Infiltrating right now. Ogryns, a heavy melee squad. Big bruisers, have super heavy infantry armor and a pile of hit points, especially when they get their bonehead leader, and here he comes. Black Grenade went off again, I guess. Havoc's running away. Where is that Plague Champion? I suppose he retreated after he threw it. Some Plague Marines on the field for Ven, and Bloodletters on the field for Zevargel. Can teleport on those double CSM, cause absolute havoc. Not much that Ven can do about it either. Can Doom Blast with his heretics and stuff, but Bloodletters can't be suppressed, so they're not too bothered. And now, as you can see, they didn't do a whole lot. Doom Blast only doing 15 damage these days. 393 to 314. Bloodletters now phasing out of existence, thus taking no damage, but it can also not attack or cap. Freeman getting his VP this is Slaaneshi, sorry, getting his VP uncapped, but he's now pushing through, maybe going for this power. Talking about going for power, Nurland has punctured through, and Wraithguard are in play. We have some Plasma Guardsmen for Freeman, getting an execute bonus of 100% more damage, and look at that. Health flying down on the Wraithguard. They don't drop a model though, now they might. No, they survived the Sentinel's little missile barrage as well. Nurland doing a good job in splitting his forces here. He might be able to swing back around with his Dire Invaders maybe not being set upon by Zevargel. His Chaos Lord leveling to 2. Combi Flamer and Armory Inferno. Pretty standard outfit for the Chaos Lord there. Especially on this map. Combi Flamer and Armory Inferno are going to do great for you. We have a Grey Knight Dreadnought on the field for Stigma. He's gone for the Dreadnought Claw. Nemesis Doomfist, I think they're called in the lore. Something like that. Something weird and fancy. And it's pretty cool. 100 DPS also gives him more health. And Maelstrom. And Maelstrom is amazing. Not seen a melee Grey Knight Dreadnought around for ages. And I guess Slaaneshi needs to respond. He's already got the assault kit up for his stormtroopers, so can't get melter guns for these guys. He could get, in fact he already has, the missile launcher Sentinel, getting those crack grenades in. Crack missiles in, I should say. And it's a Nemesis Demon Hammer for the Brother Captain, kicking off in the mid, is it? I guess so. Chaos Lord gets away. We have some Chosen Plague Marines up for Ven. Powerful melee squad. Good counter initiation and help you with some melee superiority. Uh-oh. Shuriken's going to go down. Just the weight of fire from double guardsmen in tier 2 can be pretty overwhelming, especially with Lord Commissar buffs, and of course Lord General buffs can do a whole lot towards that. 344 to 310. Good pressure from Freeman. Got the cap. I mean, he's pushing, but he's not doing nothing with it. Often you'll see people pushing through and achieving nothing, not bashing, not decapping, doing nothing. Freeman, every time he gets through, he's usually decapping something. When Nurland's getting through, of course, he's got that power to hit, and he has hit it a little bit. I'm not sure if he's whacked it out at any point, which could be massive if he did. Looks like one generator is down here, and a node is being repurchased, so at least that much went down. Sentinel reads repairs, and here's Slaaneshi backing off. Needs to recap some territory. I think that natural wreck point and this contested power. Doesn't want to leave that in enemy hands too long. Noded up like that. Chaos Lord switching to the Blood Maul in response, I think, to the Chosen Plague Marines. Under Nurgle worship. Look at their health regen. That's pretty crazy. Bloodletters backing away under some Khorne worship. A really nicely hit Armor of the Inferno. Wow. And now he gets in for Sweeping Doom. Awesome play from Zevargel. Ven caught, really blobbed up for a second. And that's what can happen. Stuffing's dying left and right in the middle. It's a Chosen Plague Marines using their Nurgle's Rot to create these zombies from stuff that dies. Touch of Nurgle on the Heretics, tying up the Havocs. Can they get a model? Surely they can. And yes, they do. Maybe another one on retreat if they Doom Blast? Guess not. Plague Marines exploding on death and knocking back those. Oh, those were just blood sacrifice Bloodletters. Here are the real Bloodletters still in play. With those power melee Hellblades, they are going to slash through the Plague Champion so freaking quickly. Look at that, and he goes down. Was waiting for help from a Heretic, but it wasn't enough to save him. And now those Heretics are being torn apart. And good engagement for Zevargel, I think.
One of artillery is under attack.
Well, he's won the engagement, I guess, by forcing off Ven, but Ven did pretty well too with that touch of Nurgle. Inquisitor level 3 with Inferno Pistol. Good damage to all targets, and the pretty scary Judgment ability, as you can see from the tooltip there. 337 to 266. Grey Knight Dreadnought. A pretty good answer to Ogrins. I mean, Ogrins are a heavy melee squad, but they don't want to mess with a melee walker with their melee resistance and stuff. Might be time to tie up that Inquisitor though, because she's doing a lot of damage with that Inferno pistol. In fact, I think this Dreadnought is done for. Caught between a Sentinel and the Inquisitor. Not sure why the Inquisitor wasn't tied up there. And Ven is in tier 3. Zevargel also going to tier 3, and Freeman is already there also. I guess he got nothing in tier 2 apart from upgrading his Sentinel. Oh, he's also got the Fist of Brockus and Stubbornness, a really powerful combo. Fist of Brockus means that you want to focus fire down the Lord Commissar as soon as you can, but Stubbornness makes that difficult. Plague Champion looking for a revive from this Farseer. I guess we just saw Spiritual Rights go off there. Big AoE heal. 337 to 237. Might be facing two armies right here. Nurland does respond to the threat and just gets the hell out of there. That could have been really bad if he didn't notice Freeman coming back in. Havoc's going to be forced off. Yes, they are. Just too much range firepower for them to deal with. And Zevargel leaving the mid to help out Freeman there momentarily has conceded it to at least a decap. He is coming right back in. Have some Mark of Tzeentch CSM. Bloodletter's looking pretty dangerous. And Grenade to Heretics could maybe disrupt this big blob right here of double CSM and Plague Marines. Ven now doing a pretty good job splitting after the fact. Chaos Lord coming in and getting a decent sweeping doom regardless though. And wow, Chosen Plague Marines getting torn apart by Bloodletters, supported by some stuff there, even under Worship. 337 to 182 is a double cap for blue team. Stigma looking pretty thin though, down to Strat Squad, Purgation and Inquisitorial Operatives. Having said that, he has decapped Slaaneshi's natural brother captain, who is pretty scary once he gets going. Blessed Aegis and a Nemesis Demon Hammer up. Then in full retreat, and now Zevargel can retake the middle, so he didn't lose it for long there. There is None Shall Fall, doing exactly what it says on the tin. Nothing dies when they are under influence of it, and it lasts for freaking ages, as you can see. Wraith Guard pushing forward. They do have their Spirit Seer speed buff there, but they're so slow, even with it. Oh, look at this, couple of gens up on this east side for red team. It is a Land Raider Phobos on the way for Zevargel, and Ven going for a Chaos Predator, which is not going to last long against the Phobos, I don't think. But he does have Plague Marines in there as well, so we'll see. I think he needs to push the Phobos up as soon as he sees stuff and get that Dirge Caster off. That's going to win him the engagement if he can get a good one. Stigma's coming mid though, so next fight might be a 2v1. And Zevargel's going to want to back off. You're always going to get doubled in a 3v3. It's about how we respond to it and how quickly you can notice it. Which is why it's always pretty useful when you call out that the player on your side, or your lane as it were, is missing. Because it usually means they've gone to double somewhere else. Farseer being chased down by Ogryns. Freeman's got some of his own. The Dire Avengers Grenade themselves trying to save the Farseer there, but she does go down in retreat. There's another grenade, and there's another None Shall Fall going off. That is pretty damn difficult to fight against if you don't have a hell of a lot of single target damage, because that Stubbornness makes the Lord Commissar pretty difficult to deal with. He's going for Aura of Discipline now though. That is to directly support those Ogryns, and it's going to make them pretty difficult to deal with as well. He does still have the single Shuriken, and now getting some Seer Council, and Seer Council will tear apart Ogryns pretty easy. Add Farseer buffs to that, and they're not going to last long. Awesome play from Slaaneshi, using the speed buff of Mandate to chase down that Predator tank of Ven. Did not last long there. Freeman now getting a heavy weapon squad. Maybe expecting that Seer Council, or generally just wanting a bit more movement control over on that east side. Chosen Plague Marines wading into combat with a Phobos. Not going to work out too well for you, lads. They do have power melee weapons, but they don't do a huge amount of upfront damage. It's all about their damage over time. And even with that, they're not going to do much for a Phobos. And in fact, he does lose the squad there. Bloodletters used well by Zevargel in this game. Used really well. It could be so powerful, Bloodletters, if you start leveling them up, because it helps them phase out quicker. They have the energy to teleport in and phase out almost immediately. Paladins, though, on the field for Stigma. These guys now a global call-in in 2.5. Can no longer retreat and are still limited to 1. 203, 165. And they're doing a hell of a lot of damage to this Phobos using those demon hammers. But in come Ogryns and a bunch more support. And they teleport away. We might see this transition into a big mid 2v2 fight. Looks like 33man is doing well pushing this east side, so I don't think he's going to come in mid. Has this VP kind of locked down right now. Seer Council pushing against the heavy weapon squad. Oh, look at that. The Warlock leader of the Dire Avengers using its leap to disrupt the heavy weapon squad. And Seer Council chasing it down. Pretty scary damage there on such a fast squad, but they do get away.
We are losing a victory objective.
177. 165. That is Touch of Nurgle on Chosen Plague Marines. Looks like it's gonna be wasted, which sometimes happens with Touch of Nurgle. But that was a bad spot to use it. I think you generally want to use it when something's just about to die, or you're in a big engagement and you want to turn the tide. Bashing this node. In fact, he's going to bash the entire thing. He's not going to try and steal here. 33man now pushing forward. Needs to be careful with his heavy weapons squad. It's going to be vital to try and control this Eldar stuff, because Seer Council with Farseer support can be crazy. Those guys are already level 2. Phobos taking a big risk pushing forward. Why are you pushing it forward? Guessing where to bash power, keep the pressure up. But he knows that there are Plague Marines around, and that he could be flanked from this approach. So it's risky, but then is forced to retreat regardless, and now he can move through and I think mop up this entire power farm with that Phobos firing. I mean, look at that. How do you deal with that? 177, 157. Stigma's done a really good job staying in this. He was down to 3 units at one point, but Paladins, of course, making a massive difference. They're back at base right now. Uh-oh, Purgation are not going to get away. Is that the Purgation? Oh, Ogryns did not attack them. Oh, they go down anyway. I was going to say big mistake from Slaaneshi, but he does finish them off in the end. So Purgation are down. And they were useful for suppressing these Ogryns here. Ogryns leveling to 3. That is nasty. And catching Strike Squad in retreats. But they live. And they did cap that VP as well. Nicely done. Looks like he's been able to sneak through and decap that VP kind of a lot over there, Stigma. 174 to 157. Very close on VPs. It's a 2-to-1 for red team right now. 33man's doing a good job over here. In fact, he's locking it down with a bunker, decapping the wreck point. Also, Fire Prism is up for Nurland. So he's got a good army. Wraith Guard, Seer Council and Fire Prism, but the Lord Commissar is a massive pain in the arse once he starts getting kitted out and leveling up. That's an artillery shell. The smoke shell will affect vehicles, reducing range by 50%. Weapon range, that is, I think. I don't think it reduces your sight range, so I could be wrong. 133, 157. Leveling up. The brother captain there is now level 6. Are the Ogryns going to get away? They are. Hell of a lot of plasma guns on these guardsmen. Level 3 and level 3 there. Doing quite a lot of freaking damage there. Paladins do not drop a model though yet, anyway. There's judgment on them, but where is the Inquisitor? She's right there. Couldn't see her. Nicely done. Hammer of the Witches finishing it off. The brother captain, that's an orbital. And Slaaneshi, in trying to split up and dodge it, actually runs right into the other beam. But they should live. If they have got squad leaders? Yeah, they should be okay. Oh, barely. barely gets away. Paladin's forced to retreat out, down to a single model in fact. And here comes Zevargel to help out with a Chaos Predator. No mark yet, but they do just fine without it. Oh, Phobos did go down in the end. It was wrong to push it up. Now some Grey Knight Terminators for Stigma on the field, more for Slaaneshi to deal with. Looks like Stigma is not going to give up that side. He's going to keep pushing up. That's an Eldritch Storm taking out the bunker. These guardsmen are now stuck, are they? I'm not sure. They are strangely split up. 88 to 157. Ogryns need to run away. There we go. And the guardsmen are running away. Farseer goes down, but he has stopped the siege on his VP for now. 88, 54, 134, 153 even. Get it right. Oh! Imperial Abyss from Zevargel there. Ouch! Catching Ven's stuff on retreat. Chosen Plague dropping a model, but they're okay. Yeah, it didn't do massive amounts of damage, I don't think, but does get Ven off the field, or at least help get him off the field. Here come those Grey Knight Terminators with their splash damage power melee halberds. Bad news for the CSM, that's for sure. Bloodlet is moving in now, trying to go toe to toe. The Grey Knight Terminators no longer have their passive energy degeneration, which was pretty freaking awesome. But now they can retreat, of course, and are a little bit quicker, although with only 4,200 hit points. I say only. Still a lot. Chaos Sword is down, as is the Farseer and the Brother Captain. Another Chaos Predator here for Ven. I think Havocs would be a better choice here. Maybe double Havocs, maybe Noise Marine Blastmaster. But he's going for that Predator. And red team are amassing in the middle here. Is the Brother Captain here? No, but the Eldar is. And we do see the Grey Knight Terminators showing up. We might see a massive 3v3 fight if it kicks off. 71 to 139. Nurland needs to take back this wreck point though. I don't think he realizes that Freeman, sorry, is all mid right now. So he's still in a very defensive position over there. 61 to 139. Wow. Grey Knight Terminators getting absolutely wrecked. Inquisitors, of course, can do some very nasty things to Terminators. I.e., you just saw a sail there. Those guys able to retreat out of it, and he actually lived. But it really is kicking off. Predator getting shots in. There's a pretty decent Armory Inferno. And was that a Emperor's Wrath? I think it was. Yes, it was. 49 to 139. Nurgle's Rock going off. Can they kill a bunch of stuff here? That would be amazing if you can drop a Noxious Cloud in this blob. Although None Shall Fall is up. Yes, it is up. So it wouldn't have done a whole lot in terms of killing stuff. That's another Imperial Abyss from Zevargel. In quick succession, as soon as the cooldown went off, I guess. How much red did he have? Slaaneshi, I think, has enough for a nuke of his own. Yes, he does. And they can win you games. Good nukes in close 3v3s can be the difference. Still kicking off in the mid. Blue team somehow able to get the VP up among all of this. But can they hold it? Ogren's taking shots to the jaw. They are now trying to decap. Now they're not trying to decap. Oh, there's a Noxious Cloud. Waiting for the None Shall Fall to wear off, I guess, before he used it. Freeman doing a good job splitting. Have some of Slaaneshi stuff here, do we? No, it looks like it's all Freeman stuff. There is Slaaneshi stuff. They're all on this west side. Oh, was Freeman also using Vosh Troyan? Yes, he is. Did not even realise. 49 to 37. Single cap for blue. And it's the meat grinder mid here on Wrath of Baal. Still not capping this, hey Nurland. get a tick when players don't retake their natural rec points. But I guess he's got other things on his mind right now, i.e. winning the game by holding the mid. Or, well, getting it back right now. Because red team have it at the moment. Look at this though, Stigma pushing against red team's natural on this west side. His Grenade Tone is just standing there, firing their Stormbolters, taking massive amounts of damage and need to get the hell out of there. He's going to lose them. Yes, he does. Their retreat, I believe, has a 5-minute cooldown on it. So they couldn't use it again there. 34 to 34 is evened up in VPs. Red team, though, are going to get the 2-1, and they're in a pretty strong position right now, to be honest. Slaaneshi has a nuke to use. There are several decans on the way, but one of them is staying over here. He needs to bring it to the mid. He's running out of time. 32 to 34. There's the rocket run, just to keep them off the VP. And I guess it worked. Chosen Plague Marines dropping models down to 1. Down to 2, sorry. Only dropped 1. Red team holding on. Autocannon Havocs doing so much damage to everything, but here comes the Seer Council to jump on them. Madness. Ogren's wading in now. Is that Touch of Nurgle on the Plague Champion? It is. I think that's bugged right now. In that it instantly revives the Plague Champion. Yes, it is. I'm not sure if Ven knew that. Hopefully he's not being abusive and using that bugged ability, but some people are like that. But he does go down in the end anyway. 11 to 34. 1-2 on cap. None shall fall means that none of these guards are going to go down. Pretty nice usage there, and he can just reinforce off the bunker now. 11 to 34. Red team surely have this sewn up. We have a Lehman Russ on the field for Slaaneshi. Ogrins are capping under None Shall Fall, but they have no hit points as they go down. None Shall Fall wore off, I guess. Predators dropping like flies. How many Predators is that down in this game? At least 3, I think. GG, says Zevargel. And yeah, blue team gave it their all, but just lost too much in that engagement. Hit by a couple of nukes. Well, 3 nukes at least that I saw. 2 abysses and a rocket run. Another token Noxious Cloud from Ven. But it's not going to stop red team taking this with a 2-1 right at the end. We do see Stigma desperately trying for a decap, but sweeping Doom, keeping them at bay, and we are going to see them run out of time. There it is, guys. Let's have a look at the heroes. A level 9 Farseer for Nurland, who is down right in the middle there. Ven's Plague Champion, level 6, did switch to the Mucus Discharge at some point. But the Captain, level 7, had the Demon Hammer and Blessed Aegis. Not sure if he had an accessory. Inquisitor, level 10. Did some work with this Inferno Pistol, I guess. Also had Excruciators and the Inquisitorial Mandate. Chaos Lord, level 7. Blood Maul, Armor of the Inferno, and the Icon of Khorne. We also saw the Combi Flamer in tier 1. What is he up to here? I guess it's just the middle of an attack animation. And Freeman's Lord Commissar, level 9, with Fist of Brockus, the Carapace, and Stubbornness. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.